I was leaning on the wall in a dark alley, cigarette in between my lips as I take a puff. My left eye was swollen because of the hard, that busted punch on my face. The only escape from them is to hide in this dark alley. It's somehow now my secret hideout. I take another puff when I heard boys whistling. I ignored them, they are probably drunk and passing by here. I close my eyes as I put my head on the wall behind me. But then I heard them talking about their new victim. But I don't interfere. I don't want to get into another fight. My face was already swollen. Don't be scared, baby girl. We are good guys. One of the boys said and other laughed. I open my eyes and look at them. They are touching the girl. They are fully drunk and she is scared and shaking from fear, her back facing me. I close my eyes again, not wanting to get involved in their business. Please don't touch me, the girl said in a scared tone. The voice somehow sounds familiar, but I shrugged it off. Oh come on, we just want to do a little fun. Their voice kept interrupting my pace. I took a large puff and threw the cigarette on the floor, crushing it under my foot and heading towards them. Leave, I said, and their eyes shifted from the girl to mine. Stay out of our business, boy. I said leave, I won't say it again. And what will you do, huh? The voice said, and now he's getting on my nerves. They tried to touch the girl again, and when my patience was out, I grabbed the girl's hand, pulled her behind me, and punched the guy who's landing directly in his eye. He stumbles back. The second boy came and tries to kick me on the leg, and I dodge it, kicking him on his stomach. They both look at each other and run from there. I scoffed, looking at their running figure. That's when I felt someone clutching my shirt from behind. I turned around only to see the girl closing her eyes and clutching my shirt in her small hands. I freed my shirt harshly from her hand and looked at her. Now I know why her voice is so familiar. She is my classmate, even though she doesn't speak much, but she is good at studying and every teacher praises her. She opened her eyes and I looked at her coldly before walking away from her. I look at him walking away. He is always cold and even famous as a poet boy. He has a good reputation in school. Nobody wants to talk to him and he behaves rudely with everyone. Of course, he is my seatmate, but he came to school 2 or 3 days a month and we don't talk with each other. Back home, I was so scared. The boys were drunk and I live in this dark alley. It always scares me. Sometimes I curse at myself for becoming weak and not being able to fight back. I didn't get time to thank him. I reached my school and sat down. He didn't come today too. After the teacher entered and started teaching us. I walked towards my house, plopping myself on the sofa. I sighed. What a life. I changed my clothes and started using my mobile. After eating my meal, I was solving the math problem when I heard coughing someone loudly. Is mom okay? I stand and walked towards my mom's room, and she was laying on the bed. She coughed loudly this time and I ran towards her. Mom, are you okay? I said and sat beside her. She is looking pale. I put my hand on her forehead to check the temperature and she is burning from fever. Mom, you have a fever. Why didn't you tell me? I said, panicked, and ran outside and bring the cloth. I dipped the cloth in cold water and put it on her forehead. Honey, you don't have to worry. You don't take care of yourself. She shakes her head and smiles slowly. Another loud cough. Mom, I will bring you your medicines. I will take it tomorrow. You don't have to go at night. I don't care, Mom. Your health comes first. I put the ball on the side and stood up. Take rest. I will bring the medicines. I moved out of the room and grabbed my coat and wear my shoes. I don't want to go outside this time, but I have no other choice. I reached the medical store and bought the medicines for cold and walked towards my house. I was about to enter in the alley when I heard someone yelling. I looked to my side and in the narrow street some people are beating someone and yelling at him. Kid, this is your last chance. We need money at the end of the month. We only have a month, remember? And next time, we won't beat you. We will end you. I shivered when the man kicked the stomach one more time and turned around to leave on the other side. I hid behind the wall and looked back at the boy as he crunched in pain. No way I'm going to help him, I said and moved towards there. I took a last glance at the boy but froze when I heard another painful grunt. I shivered. He is looking in a lot of pain. God, why am I like this? I take a deep breath and move towards the boy, taking a slow step behind him. He was sitting on the ground as he tried to lift himself. I stand behind him, debating myself. Should I ruin this with my chance before I could do anything? The hand grabbed me and pulled me to the ground. A scream left my mouth as I touched the ground with a loud thud. The boy grabbing my neck harshly as he hovered above me. I opened my eyes when I heard hard breathing on my face. I winced in pain and looked at the boy. My eyes widened as well as his. Jungkook? He didn't say anything or look into my eyes before lifting himself off me and trying to stand up, but fall when the pain shot through his entire body. I stand up, dusting myself. I pick up the medicine and extend my hand towards him to stand up. These visitors again beat me. My father left lots of debt on me, and he died and left me to pay his debt, and from then, I am suffering because of him. These people beat me whenever they see me. They usually punch me, but today they beat the hell out of me. I can't even stand properly. I feel a presence behind me, and collecting my all courage, I attacked them before they attacked me. I hovered above them as I chopped their neck, but got shocked when it was a girl, and none other than Jung. I looked at her as she writhed in pain. I removed my hand from her neck and tried to stand up, but another pain shot through my body and I paused. I rubbed my neck harshly and opened my eyes only to see a hand in front of me. I look up and Yun is extending her hand to me for get up. I ignore her and trying to stand up but fall again. Growled lowly at my miserable situation until I felt a hand on my shoulder. I glared at her and she looked at me innocently. I gave up and take her hand and she helped me to stand up. Now, no one said anything. Now one of my classmates knows that someone beat me. What if she tell everyone in the class? I tried to hide my identity but of no use. She helped me and sat me on the back. Wait here, I will come back, she said for the first time now. In her voice, I almost smiled, but it was not like I'm gonna listen to her. She turns around but then looks at me back. Don't go anywhere, please. She pleads and moved out of there. I sat there. I don't listen to anyone. I would go and leave any trace behind, but something about her made me want to believe her, and there is no energy left in my body, so I have no choice. I wait until she comes back. Yun came back and Jungkook was still sitting there, and she sighed and smiled lightly. She walked towards him and tapped him on his shoulder. Jungkook looked at her and then at her hands. She bought medicines. She sat down to match my level, and Jungkook just stared at her blankly. Yun extended her hand to his face and looked up into his eyes. He looked away as she moved her hand to his face and touched his face with a cotton dipped in medicine. He winced and glared at her. I'm sorry, she said in a soft voice, and Jungkook looked at her as she applied it to his face. Yun didn't look at his eyes as she knew he was staring at her. So who are they? She said to lessen the tension. None of your business, he said harshly, and she felt stupid to ask him. Jungkook noticed her face and he felt bad she is helping him. What are you doing here this late? Yun looked at him and he looks away. For a second she forgot why she came outside, but her eyes widened. Mom. But you look okay, so why did you need medicine? My mom is having a fever. Why are you helping me? Take it as a thank you to help me that day. Jungkook kept staring at her. Her cheeks turned pink and he scoffed looking at her. She applied the medicine immediately and bandaged his wound. She helped him to stand up, but before they moved out of the alley, he grabbed her neck and pushed her onto the wall. She winced again. If you said anything to anyone, you won't be able to show your face the next day. She nodded in fear and he left her there and walked away limping from there. She sighed and walked towards her house. After entering her house, she took steps to her mother's room and saw her sleeping. She put the medicine on her table and threw herself on the bed. She sighed and closed her eyes. The event from before played in her mind. Why he is so rude? I was just helping him. Thinking about it, I fell asleep. The next day, I completed my work and sighed. Same boring routine. I made coffee for myself and opened my room window. This alley always creeped me out. I looked outside and sipped on my coffee. I inhaled the air and its silence until something got my attention, or someone, a figure leaning on the wall. It was a distance from my house. But still, maybe some drunken man. He keeps exhaling smoke from his mouth. I lean on my window and focus on the figure. It was not like I have something good to do until the figure moved and his eyes locked with mine. I froze at my spot. A shiver ran down my spine. His face was now clear. Jungkook, I can see his dark eyes piercing mine. I closed my window immediately. What are you doing, Yoon? You look like a creep staring at a man, especially Jungkook. I sipped my coffee and put the cup on the table. His face has bristles again, and they look fresh. Damn, this boy got beaten every day. Why do I care? Remember, he treated me so badly yesterday. After you helped, I stand there at my usual spot. They beat me regularly now, even though they gave me a month, but still, it's like they enjoy beating me, and I can't fight them back because they will not hesitate to kill me. I feel someone watching me. I snapped my head in the direction, and it was Yeon. I didn't know she lives in this house. I kept staring at her. She closed her window. I felt hurt. She is afraid of me because she thinks I will hurt her. I kind of scared her. After all she did was to help me, but for her to stay away from me. But deep down, I don't want to. I closed my eyes, taking another puff from my cigarette, but I flinched when I held a hand on my shoulder. In my defense mode, I grabbed their neck and slammed it to the wall. She groaned loudly, and I heard something drop on the ground. My eyes widened when I see it was you. For God's sake, why do you keep slamming me everywhere? I leave her neck. I feel guilty, but what can I do? She needs to stop coming to me like a thief. It's your fault. Who told you to keep acting like a thief? I'm not acting like a thief. You just grabbed me out of nowhere. I'm just being defensive. Whatever. Why do you come here? She looks down and picks up the first aid box. Someone beat you again? So, it's none of your business. Can't you just beat them back just like you grabbed me and slammed everywhere? Shut up. I said now she is annoying me. Sit down. Why? So I can apply these on your face. You don't need to. Yoon grabbed his hand and pushed him down as he stumbled on the concrete surface. He looked shocked at her boldness. She sat down beside him and dipped the cotton into the medicine and applied it on his wound. Give it to me, I will do. He hissed in pain when I applied pressure on his wound. This is what you got for not listening to me. He glares at her but lets her do that. Somewhere he felt that someone is taking care of him. He keeps staring at her and his lips curved into a little smile. You look at him and he immediately turns back to his poker face. Why she is doing this? Why she is helping me? What? Nothing. Then stop staring like a creep. He grabbed her hand and pulled her towards him. She lost her balance and put her hand on his shoulder for support. Then why are you helping a creep like me? I don't know, maybe I can't see someone hurt or injured. You know what it costs to help a bad boy like me. I don't care. She looked at me in the eyes and I just wanted to slam my lips on her, but I restrained myself from doing that. Don't you feel scared about what I will do to you in this dark alley? She shivered hearing his deep voice but didn't break eye contact. You're really doing things to me. She mumbled under her breath, but he heard her clearly. And Kang Yeon, well done. You top again, he said as he handed me the test. I smiled and sat down. Some girls glared at me. Of course, the rich kids, I ignored them and some clapped for me. After the class was over, I walked to the library since I don't have many things to do in school and no friends. I sat in the library and started reading a book, but my mind drifted to not something but someone. I didn't see him in a whole week, but after the scene, I don't know if I'm hurt. He just kissed me and ran away like a coward. I I kinda start missing him and wanted to see him. I still feel his lips on mine. Yun, keep yourself together. What are you thinking? I focus back on my book. As the time passes, I pack my stuff and start walking towards my house. I look around as I enter the dark alley. I keep humming to myself. I look at the shadow which is behind me. My heart started beating faster. I kept my pace fast, and the shadows started to come closer. I start running my house until someone grabbed my hand and put his hand on my mouth so I can't scream. I feel my body slammed against the wall again. I close my eyes shut tightly. My legs start trembling. I didn't feel anything, just heavy breathing. Their body pressed against mine. I opened my eyes and my eyes met with the same pair of black eyes staring at me. It's Jungkook. His body pressed against mine, his hand over my mouth and the other on my waist. He kept staring at each other in awkward silence until he realized what he is doing. He slowly removed his hand from her mouth and distanced himself from me. I look at him, confused, as he began to check that nobody is around. Then he glances back at me and starts to walk away. But I'm quick enough to grab his hand. He turns his head and looks at me and then at our hands. If you are going to ask about that day, then don't, because it was a mistake. Jungkook said, even though he knew it was not true. Yun felt a pang in her heart. Just a few weeks ago they met, then why it hurts her? Jungkook left her there, but Yun knows she is falling for this bad boy. The more she sees him, he distances himself from her. She keeps following him for a few days, wanting to talk to him, but he kept ignoring her. Whenever he saw her, he ignores her like she don't exist. Until after a few days, she saw him standing there, smoking again. Jungkook looked at her and then about to leave when she said, Jungkook, wait, why are you ignoring me? Why do you care? He said and tried to remove his hand from her grip, but she tightened it more. He hissed in pain and she immediately loosened her grip. She removed his sleeves from his hand and see a bandage on it. Blood started covering the white bandage. He took his hand back. But, new wound again? Jungkook didn't listen to her, turned around to walk away. She grabbed his shirt tightly from behind and he stopped in his tracks. Come with me. Yun, please. Not until you come with me. Jungkook sighed. She stumbled about what he has got himself into after saving her. She guided him and he silently walked behind her. Where are you taking me? Just come with me and don't talk. Are you going to kidnap me? Yun stopped in her tracks and looked at him. Seriously? She said with a done face and he looked away. What are we doing in front of your house? I'm holding a dance party here, she said with a straight face and he looked down. I'm not going inside. I just want to change your bandage. Your mom won't ask you anything? She's not at home today. It's her night shift, that's why. Oh, he said and Yun opened the door and they both walked inside. Jungkook looked around her house. Wait here, I will come back. Jungkook roamed around the area and a picture caught his attention. I think it was Yun's mom and dad. She looked so happy. What are you looking at? She said as she came towards him and looked at the picture, which he is holding. Where is your dad? Yun Stefan? As he asked her unexpectedly, Jungkook noticed and put the picture on the table. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. He left us for other women. Jungkook looked at her and she has tears in her eyes. Will you change the bandage? It's paining, he said, changing the topic, not knowing how to say sweet words. He just made her cry. I'm sorry, I forgot. He sat on the sofa and she slowly removed the old bandage. Why don't you always make it? Jungkook didn't say anything. How much money do they want? Jungkook looked at her and this time he stood in his place. Who told you that? He asked in an angry tone. That day when they were beating you, I heard them. They gave you 1 month for your father died. Jungkook grabbed her neck harshly, his eyes replaced by anger. Jungkook, if you tell anyone in this school, then it will not be good for you. He know one thing, if anyone know about him, they will start bullying him and make it difficult for him to live. Jungkook, you are hurting me. He immediately left her neck, shocked himself, and Yuna started to cough, gasping for air. She grabs the water and drank it. Jungkook slammed the door and ran from there until he reached the street. He doesn't like when someone talk about his personal life. He hates when someone give him sympathy. He kicked the rock with his foot and screamed, how can he hurt her? How can he grab her neck? He is angry to himself. On the other hand, Yun wipes her cheeks. She is crying and again she is full, helping him when he always behaves like this. Maybe it's not good for her to involve in his life. She shouldn't have asked that question about his father. Maybe he doesn't like it. 3 weeks passed quickly and Yun didn't see Jungkook after that day. Jungkook didn't come in the alley after that. He is regretting doing something harsh to her. After school, Yun started doing 2 part-time jobs. She doesn't want her mom to do all the hard work. It's 10 p.m. After a tiring day, Yun walked back to her home. She entered the elevator stop when she heard yelling again. As she looked in the direction and they were covering a boy, grabbing his collar, they kicked his stomach. The month end today and this is not enough money. He kicked him again and coughed blood. Heart aged to see him. She knew it was Jungkook. She recognized the faces of the men who are kicking him. I earned this. I will give you more. Please give him some time. We gave you enough time already, kid. We don't care if you sell yourself or do whatever you want. We want our money. He kicked him again and again, and I winced in pain. Leave him. They stopped kicking me and looked in the direction. I slowly looked in the direction and froze when Yun was standing there in school uniform. No, what she is doing here? Kid, stay away from here, he said and kicked me again, but this time I was just staring at him. I said, leave him. She walked towards us. She looked at me and I shook my head slightly indicating that go away, but she looked away. Her face was straight. She didn't look like the scared girl whom I saved 2 months ago. Here, she extended her hand and I looked at her, shocked why she is giving them money. This will be enough, right, for the month. He takes the money from her hand and counts it. He smiled and looked her up and down. So you have a side chick who gave you money. What if you take her instead? She will be fun to play with until you pay the debt. He laughed and my blood boiled. I punched him hard in his face and he fell on the ground. I sat on him and started punching him harshly. The other one grabbed me and pushed me hard on the floor and they both beat me. Stop, we already gave you money. He stopped and I clenched my stomach. We will come back and now we want all the money, he said, glaring at me. Then he turned back and looked at Yun. His father, debt is too much, little girl, or you can come with us. We will not beat him for a whole month, he said and blew at her face. She turned her head sideways. They all laughed and left us alone here. After they left, Yun ran towards Jungkook and helped him to get up. Jungkook growled in pain but let her help him. They both walked towards her house. She rings the bell. Her mom opened the door, but her smile faded away when she looked at the boy. Oh my god, Yun, what happened? Who is he? Mom, let us come in first. Her mom helped him and they both sat him down. Her mom brings a glass of water and she brings a first aid box. Yun helped him to drink the water. He was hesitant. He didn't expect her mom to be at home just like last time. Then sat down and applied the medicine to his wound. Her mom looked at him. So what happened? Who is he? Mom, I was coming back home and some drunken boys got in my way and he saved me, but they beat him. She lied, but it was somehow true. She just mixed two scenarios. Jungkook looked at her shocked and Yun didn't look him in the eyes. Her mom nodded and smiled looking at the boy. Kid, I will make something for you. No, it's okay. I will just go after this. No, eat with us first. I already made the dinner. Jungkook smiled for the first time. He didn't get his mother's love as she died giving him birth. And it's a new feeling for him. Mom left both of you and moved towards the kitchen. Why? Why is the only word that came out of his mind. Yun keep doing her work. Jungkook grabs her hand to stop her. She looks at him. Why do you save me? Why did you pay the money? Why did you lie to your mom? Shh. Lower your voice. You don't want my mom to beat you and kick you out of the house? Yun, this is not the answer to my questions. Kids, dinner is ready. Her mom yelled and Yun freed her hand from his grip and Jungkook looked a little sad. He wanted so many answers. They both sat down and around the table. Jungkook was still hesitant toward her mom. So what do? You look like my daughter's age. I study in the same school as her. Oh, really? Then you do know each other before? Actually, we are in the same class and seatmates too. Her mom smiles widely. So you two must be close friends, right? You both look at each other and Jungkook gulped. Yes, we are good friends. You didn't tell me about him. He's such a good kid. You have my daughter. I'm so happy. You know not everyone helps in difficult situations. Your mom really raised you well. Jungkook's color faded at the mention of her home. Yun glared at her mom. I didn't mean. No, it's okay. My mom died when I was born. That's why I don't like to talk about it. Yun was shocked too. She didn't know his mother also died. And your dad? Yun mentally slapped herself. Why is mom asking a question like this? Hi, he died a year ago. He clenched his fists under the table, not wanting to discuss things. She put her hand on Jungkook and Jungkook felt mother warmth again. You don't have to worry. From now on, you can call me mom. Jungkook looked shocked as well as Yun. How she believed everyone easily, but he can't do anything. She treats everyone nicely. Mom? Shut up. Jungkook smiled as he looks at her mom. He didn't know his one good deed take him here. They eat and talk about school. I reached school and sat down on my seat as the teacher started teaching. I was so engrossed in making notes, I didn't hear when the door opened. Look who decided to show his face today. I looked up and got shocked to see Jungkook standing there. He ignored the teacher, rolling his eyes. He smirked and looked at me as he came towards me. I looked down at my book. He sat beside me, opened his bag and put his notebook on the table. Hi, he said, and I glanced at him before looking away. Hey, don't ignore me. I ignore him again and keep doing my work. Yun, I'm talking. Jungkook, if you accidentally show up today, so keep quiet. He looks down defeated as the class giggled. The teacher started teaching again. Jungkook is still thinking of how to say sorry. She is avoiding him. As the lecture was over, Yoon moved out of there. Jungkook walked behind her. Yoon put the things in her locker. She doesn't know someone is following her. As she was about to turn around, Jungkook grabbed her hand. Yoon, we need to talk. Oh really? Is there something to talk about? There are lots of things we need to talk about. And I want to... You want to what? I'm sorry. You look at him shocked. Was not expecting him to say sorry. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you that day. It's okay. I'm sorry. I bring up sensitive away. I know you don't like when someone talks about your family. And about tomorrow, you still didn't tell me why did you help me? No reason. And by the way, Mom wants you to come home today too. She told me because she thinks we are good friends. Yoon said, changing the topic, and it works. So are we good friends now? You tell me, Yoon Jungkook. What are we? Jungkook gulped. He remained silent. She scoffed. You don't know? Let me tell you then. We are nothing more than seatmates. She said, even though she knew it was a lie. Jungkook felt hurt, so why not? He distanced himself from her. She walked away, saying that he remembered how a few days back she was begging him to talk, and now he wants to talk after what she did last night for him. He can't forget that. Days passed and Jungkook started coming to school regularly. Teacher was shocked, even you were. What happened to him? Jungkook started doing more part-time jobs to earn money, and he visited Yoon home 2 or 3 days in a week. Her mom treats him with so much love. He loves going to her house because her mom always makes him delicious food when she is home. But even when he doesn't talk too much in school, they talk about just work, and in home, she usually keeps quiet because her mom talks to him. And in this whole month, they beat Jungkook just 2 to 3 times, and he tried to hide from Yoon, but she always sees his bruises and help him, but he still don't talk. He loves when she gave him the attention. He is now used to it. He comes to the school regularly just to see her, to sit beside her. Today is the end of the month and Jungkook has to pay them. Jungkook falls back when someone slams him to the wall. Kid, you are lucky to have a girl like her. Jungkook looked at them confused. Look like you don't know. Your girlfriend paid your remaining debt. Jungkook confused face changed into a shock when Manic who paid his debt. He punched him in his face. Jungkook's lips started bleeding. She is brave enough to come to us alone, but we had fun with her. He laughs at Jungkook, blood boiled. Different thoughts started crossing his mind about what they did with her. Jungkook grabs a man collar and starts touching him mindlessly. He doesn't care what will happen to him, but he is angry that he touched his girl. He backed away. He needed to find Yoon. He ran from there. His body started shaking as he started to search for her, but there was no sign of her. It began to rain. He was drenched in water, but he didn't care. He looks everywhere for her until he saw her drenched in rain and walking with her head down. Yoon, he said in almost a whisper, but she looks up. Her eyes widened. She was about to turn around when Jungkook ran towards her and hugged her tightly. She don't want him to see her in this condition. She don't want to cry, but tears betray her. He hugged her tightly and now he's crying too. They stay in each other's embrace until they calm down. He broke the hug and looked at her. Her face is covered with bruises. Did they touch? No, they just beat me. Why did you do that? Why did you pay my debt? Why did you put your life in danger because of me? Why do you always save me? After all I do is to hurt you, he said and looked down, tears filling his eyes again. Why do you always help me? Why? Why? Yoon hurt Age to see him in pain. Because I love you. Jungkook froze as these words left her mouth. Because it hurt to see you in pain. Because I can't see you got beaten by them every day. They gave you warns, but it hurts me. Is that not enough? But you do always go away from me. Why did you do that? Because I don't want you to get hurt because of me. After that day you pay them money, I know they will hurt you if they knew you are close to me. I don't want you to get hurt. That's why I push you away from me. But I didn't know that that will hurt me more. His voice became whisper-like as he started to open up. You look up at the sky and then helped him to get up from the ground. Let's go, she said in almost whisper, and he nodded. They both walked to his house. They can't go to Yoon's home because her mom will get worried. She texts her mom that she is at her friend's house. Jungkook's house was smaller than Yoon's. Yoon looked around at his house was messy. Jungkook stretched his naps, embarrassed. Please go and wash up first. You will catch a cold. She nodded a hand towards his bedroom. He gave her his clothes and she entered the bathroom. After a while, she came back within the living room. Jungkook was already in a new pair of clothes and he put a bandage on his cheeks. I walked towards him. I have to put medicine on my face, but too. He looked at me and gestured for me to sit down beside him, and I did what he said. I will do it, I said, and he was about to touch my face. Let me do it, please. She nodded and he looked at her lips where the cut was and he applied the medicine. Why do you care about me getting hurt? She said, breaking the awkward silence, and Jungkook stopped when it started again. because you're the only one who cared about me. All this time and everyone did was to leave me. They leave me because I was in debt. And they thought that I will ask for money. I thought you pity me, that's why you helped me. But you proved me wrong every time and I started to fall for you. Even when I kissed you that time, it was not a mistake. You didn't kiss me back, so I thought you don't like me. You look embarrassed. What happened? Nothing. How did you pay the debt? I know you don't have enough money. You do part-time jobs too. I asked my mom for the money and I worked hard the whole month and saved the money. And you were already paying the debt for a year, so your debt didn't remain that much. She said half to children tell him that she sell the necklace which her grandmother gave her on her 15th birthday. Why do you love a loser like me? I'm not worth it. She looked up at him and put her hand on his cheeks. You deserve all the love, Jungkook. You're not a loser. We'll stay together and build our future together. If you promise me you will not distance yourself from me again, not leave me. Promise me you will share your problems with me. I promise you now. I got someone so loving after so many years. I don't want to lose them. Smiled and he smiled too.